and I'm in Plimmerton, and yes, that bus is what dropped me off here. Since it is Queen's birthday weekend here, and yeah, they always like replacing the trains with buses when that happens. Oh, and by the way, this is a Gardener Gone Wild episode. Don't worry, you are watching the right YouTube channel. And yes, this is me. So yes, you don't need to worry about that. I'm still here. And I'm in Plimmerton. And well, hopefully I should still get a good video today. Digger! And Kano. Sludge. Mud sludge. And Kano. And over we go to the new thing we've just put up recently, which I'm not even sure what it is. It appears to be an extremely popular new dog park. And it's really weird because at first I thought it was going to be a softball oval. Even more weird. So yeah, I guess I've planted a few trees for shelter and got some nice boulders and logs and stuff. But I won't really go and disturb the doggy owners today. And let's see what this is over here. Appears to have a dog sign on it. What does it say? Aha! Exit only. Right. Only designed to discourage me, so I think I will turn around and go the other way. This area is the archery range. And as you can see, it appears to have some glyphosate sprayed lines across it. I do not advocate for this management process, shall we say. Oh, and I forgot to say, this is Plimmerton Domain, and we'll be leaving here in a few seconds. And down we go through the tunnel, and out the other end, of course. And now I'm at Plimmerton School. Or at least the lower field, that is. Whee! Round we go. Tell me, viewers, what does this look like to you? It's a circle with a horizontal line and a little dot in the middle. Enjoy. I know the title probably says something about the beach, although mind you, while I'm filming this I don't actually know what the title is. So well, up we go into this little semi-bush clad walkway. And now we're at the top of it. And now it's time to go back down. To the sea, of course. I wonder if this is a way to the sea. Or whether it would just take me somewhere else. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. I always love when the local councils put all these little interesting historical fact posts. Yeah, fact posts. I like that term. I mean, who would have thought? I mean, I think that's what the name of the road is here, but there aren't many street lines, you know, street signs around. But yeah, you can see this, you know, rock wall. I mean, who would have thought this would have been a, you know, early 1900s construction? Astonishing to think, huh? The magic of throwing out your green waste. Look at these potatoes. Something tells me they weren't deliberately planted. Gosh, that makes life fun, doesn't it, when you just see potatoes growing. Potatoes. Potatoes. Just look how you can observe the strata on this exposed slope. The magic of sedimentary layers. I do like sediments, especially when they're compacted into rock. I see a hole. This must be a holy fence. And I think I now see the sea. See, isn't it just such fun? Off we go to the sea, the sea, the sea. 'Cause I see the sea wall. As you can probably hear while I'm recording, the wind is a lot more noticeable by the coast. And unfortunately you can't pick up the lovely fresh sea air smell. See? See the things you can't see. It's unfortunate, isn't it? Hang on. Is that a piece of that old tramway that sign was talking about? Time to have a look. So that clearly looks like a junction, you know? When two lines meet. Gosh. Who would have thought? The tramway to nowhere. Oh my word. It is astonishing. I've never noticed that before. I just assumed it was some kind of some remains of some sort of seawall type structure or just some old girders. And then we have this little marker thing here. I'm actually not sure what this is. Interesting. Looks like a pole with a round thing on top. It looks like wood. It's this wooden round thing on top. Very interesting. As you can see, the tide's quite high today, so I don't think I'll be able to really talk about seaweed again. But we'll see what we can do once we get over these little rock formations. Whee! There's a really good view out to Paramata Island from Plimmerton Beach. So you can see it here. I'd love to go there one day. Fortunately, they always charge a lot for ferries and everything as they do. And over there, there's another island. No. That's just Titahi Bay. That section you see there is Fishy-Raya Park. And, you know, obviously it's got the nice coastline around it. It's got a lot of these sedimentary formations. Similar to, obviously, Plimmerton, but in sections they go out a lot further. So it's quite an interesting place to explore. I've only been over that way once. So it'd be cool if I could do a video there in the future. That'd be cool. And here's the fire station. So as you can see, these sedimentary formations, otherwise known as rocks, are an important shorebird habitat. And now, might you wonder why I'm saying that? The magic of effluent, otherwise known as poop, or more specifically referring to birds, is a substance that is excreted from the birds. And you obviously probably know how that works, especially if a seagull has flown over the top of you and left you a present. So as you can see, it's clearly quite a good record to show that seabirds have been there recently. And you do see seabirds there most of the time. Obviously today is sort of something to do with weather or tides or something, I don't know, but it's probably quite good fishing for them right now, so assuming they're out there somewhere. Or they're probably on top of someone's roof. Or they're just over there. Seagulls. Nature, you know, the coastline's ultimate scavengers. These creatures can fly and eat basically anything that's either been, you know, it's either died on the shoreline or someone has just thrown out from the beach. Anyway, as you can see, they're quite used to human company. And humans are often a good source of everything from fish and chips, well, to other tasty morsels they can throw out. And of course, exposed crabs, they kind of exposed, you know, marine life, always fair game for them. sharks, of course, for ultimate opportunists, and they'll basically eat anything that can be eaten, and some things that can't. As you can see here, and amongst other things which I would really rather not mention in this video, we have a species of the Tetragonia genus. Now today I'm not going to give you an exact, species identification because, there's a fair bit of, diversity in this genus, and basically, they're known here, as New Zealand spinach because, well, they make a pretty good spinach substitute, and, well, they come from here, New Zealand, so what else do you call them? Real imaginative, I know, but hey, what else do you call them? But I do like the triangle leaves, and I would normally have a taste test, but do I really want to take a taste test from this area? Yes, no. You know the answer. Now if you've seen my video out Island Bay, whether that's even been posted yet, I don't know. When I'm filming, things haven't been edited yet. I don't even know what things are called yet, but yeah, as you can see, the seaweed today here is obviously nowhere near as good as Island Bay. It's mostly what I'll call for now brown seaweed and green seaweed, but of course I'll explain a bit better later, maybe another video. We'll see how we go today. Now, as you can see, it's the magic of seawalls is that obviously the tide gets quite close to them, and in some places you actually have to run because otherwise the tide will come in and you know what happened. Unless you feel like a nice swim, of course, which then if that's the case you're in for a treat. And we'll just continue along the coast for a bit. The contrast of our urban seafronts. We have this rugged and, open land. And then we have suburbia. And then we have artwork. And this artwork here was actually done by a local artist who just collected the various bits of, brick and terracotta and all of that off the beach and put them in, the concrete framework and made some pretty cool art. And, those little bits of, ceramic still do wash up, on the beach quite frequently just because, especially further along, you'll see a lot of broken up brick used as a sort of form of rough sort of debris, seawall of sorts. And I suppose we'll just skip forward a bit again. Before we do, forgot there's more of these. And more of these. And these are generally, little creative verses, which I do think are quite neat, and it's great that, they've been installed along the sea, from which those ceramic pieces originated. Rather, not really originated, but were transformed from a discarded piece of humanity's endeavours into something that seems, natural in a way. It seems simultaneously man-made and entirely natural. It's the ultimate best of both worlds type material in a way. Anyway, why am I rambling on this when we can see some more interesting seafront? Oh good, the sun's starting to come out. And we can see the two generations of seawall. Yet again, just had to say hello to the sun there. Now correct me if I'm wrong, in the comments section of course, if this is not the Taupo stream. Because let's face it, it's a stream that empties out from the Taupo swamps. So what are you going to call it? The Taupo stream. I think that's what it is, but for the life of me I can't give you a definite guarantee. And I'm probably going to have to jump across here, aren't I? Because I really can't be bothered going up on the street there. So, let's see. Not sure if I can do this on camera, so I'll just have a go without. That was close, so I'm not going to try that again. But I wonder if I can walk back over on these bits. I could. I think that's why someone probably put them there. Maybe they just naturally washed there. Either way, I'm not trying that again. And the funny thing is, for you viewer, can you actually guarantee that I jumped over there? Or did I in fact just simply go up on the road there? Now, I'll say the truth. Of course I did actually jump over. Got a slightly damp foot, as you can see. But how do you know I didn't stage that? The interesting thing about YouTube, isn't it? You'll never know. But don't worry with me, you can trust me. But can you? Surely you can. Just look at me. I look trustworthy. And now we're going to head along past all these amazing flowering aloes. Just look at them sprouting out of the seawall like that. That is impressive. And along this dune, that is also extremely impressive. You've got all this amazing ice plant yet again. Just love the stuff. Don't like the canine effluent that was on some of that. I hope that wasn't on camera, but it probably was. Don't rewind it to see it. Just don't. Okay. And yeah, so we're leaving Plimmerton, well, you know, the main part of Plimmerton behind. This is just the edge of Plimmerton, and then we're going to make our way on to Mana. As you can see in the distance, at least I think you can see in the distance, there's the debris that I was talking about. And we have an earthen bank, which I'm not sure how long it will last, with these tides over there. And here we have it, the debris. Various pieces of old concrete, reinforced, mostly reinforced, and I think there's a couple of unreinforced bits as well. And yeah, as you can see, they just dumped them here, so that it's a form of seawall of sorts. And in a way, they've got lots of spaces to dissipate the wave force. And here's the bricks. This is the source of a good deal of those bricks that wash up. And there's a lot more of the stuff further down. And obviously the waves break them up, take them out, and transport them along with the current down to the beach there. And so we go past the places where we had to put artificial defences, when we start getting back into the natural rock landforms. And of course, those storm water pipes that often discharge stuff that is absolutely disgusting. So what else do you do with them? Let's face it. What else do you pour down the storm water than all that chemically polluted water off your roads? Then the sewage that often pops along with it, you know, whenever there's been a deluge of rain or something like that. And overall, this is Paramata Harbour, where there's a highly effective sewage treatment plant. Yeah, that loves to, you know, put a bit out in the ocean when it feels like it. Also, they reckon the actual sewer main is potentially leaking out in certain places of Titahi Bay as well, you know, over a fair bit over there. So yeah, for water quality, I personally don't suggest swimming over there. But I do like this bunker. So this space is cool, it's authentic, World War II, you know, machine gun emplacement. See, that's a big slip there, and obviously they've blocked it up to some degree because it's, you know, that nice little gap where you can just squeeze on in, and yeah, it's lasting up pretty well, especially for a reinforced concrete structure like that. And yeah, you've got the smaller rifle slits, you know, so that, and they've actually got quite a cool angle on the inside. So, you know, if we just poke this through in here, I'm not sure if we'll be able to see it. Sort of see, except, you know, we see on the other side, but the dune's kind of covering it. You can see that's both of the slits there, and they're wider on the, you know, inside than the outside. And I think my camera's running out of battery, so I can't guarantee how much longer this video will be. So there's not a lot more of interest along here. Just, you know, concrete, sedimentary rocks, and a good view out to Tutahi Bay. There's also a walking track up there, which is much easier to walk along than all of this concrete. But since, as you know, I'm the wild gardener, I like staying on the more wild side. So, you know, what way would you expect me to take? The debris way or the upper way? For this next bit, you won't find out. And just look at all of that steel sticking out. How to get impaled. The guide on how to get impaled. That is what I should be doing here. I'm up on the path after all. As you can see, erosion is clearly a defining factor on the landscape. So is this rail yard. And all of, you know, the various herbicides they pour on the gravel so that it doesn't weed up, you know, all of that environmental destruction. But hey, the rail yards, you know, the railways are nowhere near as bad as those roads over there. So, you know, they're off the hook with me, so you don't need to worry about them. And further along to Mana Beach. Rebar, a jolly good name for spikes of rusted metal sticking out of concrete, ideal to impale any people passing by. Now that is what happens to the world's old concrete steps, or at least in coastal areas. Here we have it, some more actual real beach, and of course me sitting down on the concrete. So what else do you need? Concrete and beach. Now can you see that colourful stuff growing on the concrete there? That is blue-green algae, and that is rather poisonous, and please do not eat that, as that is good for killing both people, dogs, and anything besides basically a marine mollusk. And let's face it, how many of you viewers out there are marine mollusks? If there is one, I would love to know. Here we have Mana. The place where you're not even allowed to walk, or, you know, to climb on top of rainwater tanks. Interesting place, huh? Now we won't delve into too much into Mana and Ngāti Taua Domain today, nor the little railway station where I'll probably be getting a bus very soon. But we do have to visit the old barracks, don't we? Past more car parks, overly mown grass, and yeah, car parks. Funny how from this angle the barracks looks like some boats cast aground on shore, or at least some rocks over there. So basically it looks like boats plopped on rocks. It's astonishing that this reminder of, well, this building, you know, was built in 1847. That's when they finished completed construction of it, and basically, believe it or not, it was originally 2 stories. And a year later, an earthquake severely damaged it. Then in 1855, basically it lost its upper story, because believe it or not, this was 2 stories. And of course that can be basically put down to the faulty mortar used in between these rocks, because basically it's made from, you know, local things like shells and all of that, and let's face it, I don't think the lime kilns were exactly up to standard back in those days, along with many other things, and it's just astonishing that this still stands to this very day. I mean, it's technically called the Paramata Barracks, but the area it sits in is Mana, and it is worth remembering. And basically also that there are about 6 of these kind of barracks, you know, built along Pairua, you know, 6 of them in the Pairua area, and well, this was actually the biggest and grandest one of them all, believe it or not. Astonishing to think, you know, that this still stands, even though back in its day it wasn't exactly the most sturdy building ever built, especially of the earthquakes, which, let's face it, those whom were building it were not to expect these kind of earthquakes. They didn't even know. I mean, you know, the earthquake of, you know, 1948, how were they supposed to predict that this building basically got ravaged by an earthquake a year after they finally finished building it? Just astonishing. Also astonishing to think that most of the valid information is right here, and although you probably won't even see it on your screen, still, I always love it when the council puts handy information signs exactly where you need them. This is the Marina area, and basically I'm going to walk straight past this because most of these boats here are mainly for the purpose of turning sea animals into seafood, and you know my stance on that one. Also, you know, I'm totally happy with munching sea plants, but you don't really need to go along munching sea animals because, you know, I'm a plant muncher. Wonder how many videos I'll be able to incorporate that into. And I must come up with an even more interesting term for that. Times when you appreciate a nice block of trees to block the view somewhat. And here we are, a section of a Pairua harbour that goes over to Pahatanui, which is over that way. Now the other day, well yesterday, I saw some dead fish that were attracting a lot of cool little fish, and I wish I had the camera on me at that stage because it was both gross and absolutely fascinating. But if I scan the water now, there's nothing. Like, there's no fish carcasses and no crazy flurry of activity. So, as you can see, I'm not sure how well you can actually see on this recording, but yeah, there's obviously no fish carcass, but there are a lot of dumped mussel shells, which makes you think someone was gathering a lot of mussels. And the thing about mussels is I personally would leave them there because they're a valuable filter feeder. And basically a filter feeder, you know, yep, bivalve, you know, bivalve filter feeder is going to be cleaning the detritus or yuck out of the water. And the thing is, they clean it by eating it. So basically they're eating all of the, you know, everything from, you know, the toxic metals and stuff accumulated in the water to the, you know, fecal pollutants and all of that good stuff that you often find in waterways these days. And basically they'll be going along, eating all of that, and yeah, do you really want to be eating it yourself? That is a good question. As you can see, it's a long weekend and there is a lot of traffic. There's also a bus, and I'm not sure if I can catch that one, but I'll be too late to catch it anyway. What a shame. So just in conclusion, there's lots of traffic on the road, no fishies feasting, but yeah, I hope you still enjoyed the video. And if you did, remember, please like and subscribe and continue watching these videos, especially if you think they're really cool. And yeah, feel free to drop a comment if you feel like it, and see you next time.